Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, what we're doing is we're doing a chakra day, and I met this lady. I'm a co-host. Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yeah, hi.
Okay. Now, the lady that we're having the chakra day for, her name is Linda Hammond. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. There's not any way to say it, though. So, yeah,
okay.
You said it right.
And it says that you're a former news anchor and that you're a writer as well as a bikini competitor. Is that true?
Yes, and I do some influencing, and I have ambassadorships on Instagram as well.
Ambassadorship on Instagram. What exactly does that mean?
Companies contact me and ask me to try their product, and if I like it, I'll write about it and do posts on it. Some of them pay me, and some of them...
So you get... You are doing... it says here that you're also the author of the book Garage Sale Gal Guide to Making Money Off Your Stuff.
Yes.
Look, that's interesting because, everyone's trying to clean out their house, but I think Kelly was trying to do something like that. Am I right, Kelly?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing, I always liked garage sales. After I was a TV news anchor, I actually wrote a column on garage sales for the Arizona Republic and the newspaper, and I did that for 10 years. And part of the reason is because when I moved out to Arizona, I discovered that garage sales were like a sport. You can have garage sales year-round, and it's uncanny to see the things that people get rid of. So I've decorated 3 homes with garage sale finds, and it looks like I've been around the world. It doesn't look junky. It looks very eccentric and very eclectic. Very nice.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Now, let me ask you something. Are you in? I texted you earlier to make sure. Are you in a place where you can kind of lay down and have your eyes closed?
Yes, it's funny you say that because I was in Vegas for 4 days for a broadcasting convention, and I'm absolutely exhausted. So I've been perched here on the couch for a few hours anyway. So, yes, and in fact, I'm laying down now.
All right, great. Okay, Kelly, if you can hear everything that we were saying, okay, the audio is fine on your end, you hear us?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope
okay.
I'm coming through okay.
Okay, what we're going to do, you have this picture. I'm going to go ahead and give you the steering wheel here, and you go and you get started, okay?
All right, thank you. All right, I'm hoping that my voice stays with me. It's been, as the day's been going, it's been doing better, but I just don't want to have it where I go to speak and then it doesn't come out because sometimes that's happened. And I think I'm speaking too soon because it's happening again. But, so if you can bear with me, what I do is I go into each chakra, and a chakra is an energy center, and it correlates with a certain area of the body, and it has its own little systems and like the different organs that complement each other in that area, and it can also involve memories and emotions. And you have 7 of these main ones that go like a line from where you sit all the way to just above your head. And it works like 7 different wheels of energy within one big wheel, and it's circulated with your blood flow and your breath. So what I do is I start to do a warm-up where I'll take my hands and I'll rub them together vigorously, and then I'll bring them out to about shoulder width, and then I start bringing them closer and closer until I can cup them and start to feel resistance about about 5 inches away from each other, and that's forming an energy ball. And people that are familiar with meditation and energy work and things like that, they're going to be more sensitive to feeling this. It takes practice, and for some people it takes longer than others, which is fine. You can do that if you want, and if you don't, that's fine too, because what I'm going to do isn't going to be affected by whether you're doing that. It's just kind of a neat little thing.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about my voice. It's annoying me, but I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay.
Oh, I can. It's fine.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to speak underwater or something. So what I do is I have this little beaded pendulum, and it has a little stone on the end of it. And, honestly, you could use something like a paper clip on a piece of dental floss, and it'll work the same. And I'm running my fingers down along it and sweeping it so that I'm sweeping any residual energy into the ground. And I focused on your picture of your face. It's in my mind. And if you're ready, Linda, I'll go ahead and I'll start on the root chakra.
I'm ready.
All right. It can work better with your eyes closed, but I know you're tired and I don't want you falling asleep on me. So
they're closed.
Okay. Yeah, if you can remain awake, that would probably be best. So, yeah, as long as you're comfortable. So the root chakra is located basically in our seat, like the area where we sit. And it's at the base of the spine, and it is what grounds us to earthly things. And it's like the one that's like a building block, foundation, where the other ones build on it. And it's our most primal and important energy center. And it's our instinct for survival and safety. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And with this pendulum, if it's a healthy chakra, then it's going to go in a circle. If it's really healthy and unblocked, it's going to go in a really big sweeping circle. But if it goes back and forth or side to side, that means there's either negative energy or it's blocked. And then I can work on it.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got. Okay, this is going up and down. So that's showing me that there's something off in this area. So sometimes it can be like a past trauma starts surfacing, or it can be like something scary happened, or where you were afraid at some point. Your most primal instinct, you might have gotten triggered by something, or maybe you had a move and you weren't sure about it. So let me go in here and see what I can find. Something feels really heavy.
You're talking about mentally, right? My mentality, right?
Yeah, something feels really heavy, like heavy emotional, like something happened. I don't know if it was a breakup or a loss of somebody, but
And you're
I'm
talking
picking up
recently.
on. Yeah, I'm feeling it recently. Am I onto something?
No.
Okay, it's okay. It was a little bit of negative energy, and I think my senses are being thrown off with this illness. I was afraid that might happen, but let me see what it does now. Because I pulled something out of there and it felt negative, but I couldn't really distinguish why. But it is doing a circle. So that's good. Whatever that negative stuff was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's doing a big sweeping circle. So that I'm not sure. I'm going to close my eyes so that I can concentrate more on what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, I personally had just gone through something, and maybe that was what I was picking up was my own stuff because I am not feeling well today. But all right, I'm shaking that out so that I don't get tripped up by that again. All right. The next one is the sacral, and that's between the belly button and the bikini area. And that's our emotional body, that's sensuality and creativity. So if that's thrown off, then it might be hard to write something. It might be hard to create and express through art. It might be, more difficult to do those things. Or if something is thrown off, then it might be hard to feel like you're in your sexy mindset. But let's see before we talk about things being thrown off, how it is. Okay, this one's doing very well. This one's doing a lot better than the first one.
Okay.
This is doing like what I call helicoptering. So it's going around in a big sweeping circle, and it's turning into a blur. Yeah, so those things aren't off at all. Yeah. I like to explain what it means if they are off, but that one's not off.
Okay. So in other words, my creativity is high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That
your creativity.
Yes, I'm doing really well writing, and things are going well in that respect.
I picked up on writing, so that's good. Yeah. And your emotional state seems to be in the positive right now. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. The solar plexus is the next one, and that's between the belly button and the breastbone. That's our personal power, our self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation. So, let's see where that is. And I'm glad I'm getting my voice back. Oh my gosh. That was nuts. I thought I was going to end up having to do the whole thing with partial words coming out. Oh, this one's really taking off too. That's good. It was a little slow at first, but it's going around really fast now.
Oh, cool.
And that's telling me, that you are definitely on the right path, and I would stay on that. Keep reaching forward, and you're going through a transformational phase with this right now, and I want to say that it feels like it's connected to your writing. So
yes.
As you're writing,
yes.
You're learning about yourself, you're learning about others, you're learning how things interact with each other, how people interact, how we affect each other, how everything is connected. And it's starting to focusing on details, but also the big pictures coming in. So
Great.
As you write this, you're evolving too. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Things are changing and things are going well for me. So
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely, keep expanding and keep reaching, but you're on the right path. So, don't let anybody or anything derail you, because, this is going to be big for you, and it's going to be big for other people.
Right.
Yeah. And the heart chakra is the next one. That's the opening of feelings, compassion, capacity to love, and it doesn't like conflict. So, let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay, that's a big circle. It's not as big as the one before, but, it's still kind of blurry and big. It's just not spinning almost like to the point that I can't hang on to it. But it's still very healthy.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. The next one is the throat chakra, and that's our ability to manifest and express our truth in the world. And if I had to take a guess, I would say that I don't think you have any problem with that, but let me go ahead and check it. Okay, it started off a little bit slow, and now it's going about the pace that the heart one did. So
Okay.
now it's starting to go like super fast and hard to hang on to. So what that's telling me is that the more you get into your project, the more you're going to be able to relax and express yourself better. That you're going to start opening up to just, it'll start gelling and just really start building on itself. And then you're going to come to new truth, and you're going to be able to more freely express it because you're going to know that what you're expressing is how you're feeling because you're connecting to that so well.
Great.
And you're able to express things in a way that people can identify. And that's a real gift because, you're not going to have too many readers if they can't identify with what you're saying. But you don't have that problem.
Right. I do get a lot of comments and a lot of likes on my things on Instagram and Facebook. So that's a lot of fun, and it's very rewarding for me. And my writing is so important to me that I just copied every single post I've ever done in case anything ever happens to my Instagram account, because I hear horror stories about people losing their accounts. Because sure, it would be a bummer to lose a lot of the follows and the likes, but it's the writing that would haunt me the most.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah, because, it feels like to me like you have a lot of connections on a deep level with yourself, with, what's really happening out there. And
yes.
Yeah, and to lose that would be losing a big part of yourself and your self-discovery and the path that you've been on.
Right.
And, it's a remarkable path. It's a remarkable way of being able to keep track, like almost like a journal. And
right. Yeah. Writing is therapy for me, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And that's why it resonates with so many people, because it's so real.
Yeah.
The next one is the third eye. That's our intuition, our learning patterns, our skill sets for our memory, and things like that. Being able to discern, like, how you feel about something to what it really is. It's the ability to be able to look past emotional connection and see things for the way they really are. And let's see. That one's a pretty good circle. It started out a little bit slow, and it's building to about where the heart chakra is. It's not at the throat chakra level where that was like spinning like out of control happy, but this one is quite healthy, and I think that's telling me that what it's going to do is the more that you're connecting with people, the more that they resonate with your writing, the more that you're connecting with yourself mostly, is when you're going to keep developing that third eye, because you're going to learn that you can rely on it. It's going to be a great guide for you, and you already know that, but you're going to get it stronger, and because everything's integrated, connected with each other, your experiences and your readings. And you'll be able to better trust your judgment, your gut feeling on something, when you keep proving over and over that you were right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one is the crown chakra, And that's your access to the higher states of consciousness, open to what is beyond our understanding. So, and my voice is doing this fun thing again, but let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this went right into like a super speedy, like out of control, trying to hang on to it blur. So, yeah,
Wow.
you are very connected. Yeah, and you're very connected to the higher power, to God, the universe, and to the connectedness that we all have, being that we're all living beings, we all have our own vibrational frequencies, but we pick up on each other when we're aware, and you're aware. So, and that's hard for a lot of people. They get stuck down below. You know, like each one, like from the first one at the root, going up, sometimes people get stuck on, it's like a ladder and they get stuck on one of the rungs and they have a hard time getting up there. But
wow. Excellent.
Yeah, so you are one of those people that I think the transformation part is your ascension to a higher level of consciousness than a lot of people are experiencing, which is great. I'm going to check them and go through them super quickly just to make sure that the one at the root chakra didn't hop around to a different one while we were, working on one of them higher. Because sometimes if there's a negativity, it'll try to hang on, but it'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make sure. Root. Okay, that one is doing super. That one started out kind of sluggish, but now it's in the out of control, you can barely hang on to it type circle.
Okay.
That's good. The sacral, let's see. Yeah, that went right away into that fast spin. And yeah, that's definitely your emotional and creativity levels are like through the roof, as far as being in the, positive.
Excellent.
Yeah. Solar plexus, oh, wow. This went right into the fast one. So your personal power, your self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation are like off the chart. So that's good. Your heart, that went right into the fast one. So yeah, you're definitely opening up your feelings and your compassion, your capacity to love and everything. That's just like blossoming.
Excellent.
Your throat, yeah. Your throat chakra wasn't as fast as the heart one, but it's going around in a really fast blur. So that one's doing really well. So the way you're communicating is definitely spot on because you're reaching the most people the way that you do it, your style. The third eye is starting off a little bit slow, and now it's going into a really fast spin. So I think that more you get involved and immersed in what you're doing, the more that's going to build on itself because you're going to be getting the feedback from other people, the reassurance, the, self-awareness that's going to be, continuing to help you. And your crown chakra, that one is going into a fast spin right away where it's hard to hang on to it. So,
nice.
Do you do things like meditate?
I do yoga 6 days a week, and I've been wanting to learn how to meditate because I'm definitely a type A personality.
I gotta say, I was almost like hearing you actually, like, when I heard her do the chakras, I was like, you got everything right. I mean, it sounds like you got your act together. I mean, what got you started wanting to be a bikini competitor?
Well, a friend of mine, I was in, she was getting ready to do a competition, and she asked me why I didn't ever think about doing it. And I said, I don't know. I just never thought about it, I just like going to the gym and staying in shape, and that was good enough for me. And then she kind of, took by the hand and said, let's do this together, And the irony is that she ended up not doing the show, but I did. So then I ended up doing 2 more. So it was fun. You know, it's a good thing to do to get motivated to get in better shape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you something about getting in better shape. I have, every morning, I drink coffee and I take Mountain Dew along with it. And I'm still exhausted. Does that, I mean, you know, is that usually enough to give someone energy, or does it usually require more stuff, in your opinion?
Well, it depends on what you're doing, like the day before. Are you drinking enough water? Like, you could wake up and be dehydrated because you're not drinking enough water.
Okay.
You could be sluggish because you're not working out.
Well, I'm going for walks. I walk about 3 miles a day.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But as we get older, one thing we definitely need to do is weight training. I didn't really start doing – I weight trained when I was in college, but I lost track of that when I got into the real world and started working. But then I got back to weight training maybe 7 years ago, and that's really good because we lose so much muscle mass as we age. And it's so good for our bones, and it's so good for weight loss because the more muscle we have, the more fat burning our body does, even at a resting state. So
What's your favorite?
If I had to advise one thing for you, I would say do harder cardio where you're getting your heart rate up, you know, high. Either walk a lot faster or jog every once in a while. You know, jog for 1 minute and then walk and then jog and then walk if you can, or do bicycling or something that gets your heart rate up, because that's really what gives you more energy and helps blood flow and just helps your heart and helps your overall health.
How is your family? Does anybody in your family do it with you? Like, do your kids, or, you know, do they do it with you?
No, I don't have any kids, and and as far as my family, I have a very small family, so no, not really. My mom and I, in fact, I was just writing a post. My mom and I did yoga when I was like 6 years old together, so I was writing a post on how, you know, it's important to start young and make it a habit if you're going to work out, but at the same time, you're never too old to start. So, in other words, like, let's say you never worked out a day in your life, maybe somebody that's lived a day in their life. If they started working out, they will reap the benefits nearly immediately. So you'll feel better. You'll have more confidence. You'll feel less like eating because you don't want to damage some of the work that you've been putting in the gym or whatever. So, you know, you're never too old. So let's put it that way.
I like that. I really do. Because I've had a lot of physical injuries, and then it makes it difficult because then I feel like I'm behind the progress that I was at before, and you have to play catch up, and it's slow. But,
Kelly,
you know,
it's funny you say that because when you were on the first chakra, which was from, right, and up to the crown area or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you said there was kind of a problem when you were talking about that. And it's funny because I thought, well, is she thinking physical? Because if so, that makes sense. Because, see, I've had chronic back pain for 26 years.
Oh.
And, when I was injured at first, I'd say the first 3 years, the only thing I could do was physical therapy and walk in the swimming pool. And doctors told me to be happy with only swimming and doing physical therapy and taking opioids. And I said, bullshit. That really scared me. And because I had worked out all my life, even before that, and I very slowly, I got on the treadmill at a gym, and I started walking as much as I could. Then I'd get, you know, a little impatient, and I started walking, running, jogging, and then it just led to running. And I determined that the more I worked out, the better my back felt. So you have to go with what your doctor tells you. But sadly, what many doctors tell people is wrong because, in a sense, they're selling you treatment. They're selling you epidurals. They want you to keep coming back to them. But if you can get well on your own, they're going to run out of patients. So it's important to take your own. It's important to take your own health in your own hands, and if it feels good, do it. Because if I would have listened to doctors, I would be a 400-pound couch potato, chocolate-eating elephant right now. Had I listened to them, and I didn't. I was able to think that was the rest of my life. And again, the more I work out, believe it or not, the more weight I lift, the heavier I go, the better I feel. And this is a debilitating back respect. I'm lucky, but so you have to listen to your doctors to a point, but you also have to remember they are freaking salespeople.
Yeah. Wow, thank you. Yeah, I think I was picking up on your back pain because I was like, why is this hurting right now? And I thought, is this like an emotional thing? I mean, what is stuck here? And so I was picking up on your back pain, and then I'm thinking, when you're saying this, that makes perfect sense because when I'm up and around, as long as I'm not pushing to the point I get spasms, when I'm up and around, that's when I feel the best. If I'm taking it easy, no, I feel bad. And so, wow, that's really an inspiration for me. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Wow. So, tell us about yourself.
I have a question. I have a question. You're a news anchor. How do news anchors determine what stories they cover? Do they determine it, or does their boss determine it?
Well, it's basically, like if news happens, like if, say you got a murder or something, you're going to go cover it, and then as a team, you decide which story goes first. So everyone's like, okay, well, we got this murder over here, let's go with that one, and then we've got this fire over here. A lot of times it's what's the most visual. But yeah, it's really a group decision. A lot of the anchors you see don't have as much power as you might think. Like, for instance, I was an anchor and I wrote everything I said on the air because I was such a control freak that I could not write, I could not read and did not want to read somebody else's writing. Because when you're writing for broadcast, when you're writing for broadcast news, you write how you speak. And none of the other reporters or anchors in the newsroom wrote how I spoke. So it was annoying if we had to read a cold story, and what I mean by that, a cold copy story. Like I never got a chance to look at it, and the reporter was late, and it was just thrown into the teleprompter. It would throw me off like crazy because, I don't mean to sound like a snob, but compared to some of the others, I was a really good writer in broadcast news. And what you want as a TV news anchor is somebody who can tell you a story without looking like they're reading from the teleprompter.
It's also another aspect of it, too, is controversy. I asked, we had in Georgia, when it was in Georgia, we have an anchor named Monica Kaufman who came to, I don't know if you know that name, who came to visit us at our school. And I asked her, now this is Monica Kaufman. Monica Kaufman was an African-American woman, and you'll understand why I'm bringing this up in a minute. I asked her, I said, what was the hardest story you ever covered? And she said Klan rally.
She said what?
Klan rally. K-rally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, okay, I didn't get that.
I mean, this African-American reporter covering a KKK rally. You understand?
Right.
That would be, I mean, and I'm not trying to single her out on anything, but, you understand that, I mean, if you are going after a group that will single you out, but
she could have turned that around, though, and it could have been an empowering story if she would have seen it differently.
Right. That's
you see
true.
what I'm saying? Because she could have, first of all, kudos to her for going out on the story, but secondly, a lot of empathy from the audience that they even sent her there. But, the KKK people, in my opinion, are simply uneducated people. So
now,
she's already got a jump on everybody. So
have you ever covered a story like that was sort of difficult to do?
I did mostly cops and courts, so I did lots of murders and lots of hot news. The worst story I ever did, I don't know if you want to hear it, but
sure.
Well, you remember Geraldine Ferraro?
Yeah.
She was vice president of Canada under Mondale back in the 80s. I was working on another story that one particular night, a complete opposite story of what Geraldine Ferraro was doing in our city. And my news director called me up and said, we just lost the reporter for the Geraldine Ferraro story. And Geraldine Ferraro had already wrapped up her speech, okay? So the news director asked me to go over there and view her live about her speech. And I said, but Larry, I didn't hear the speech. And he said, I don't care, just get over there. So I went over there, and the first question I asked her, I asked her a question, and we weren't live on the air yet, but I asked her a question to try and get a hint of what she talked about. And she said, oh, shit, I don't need this bullshit. I'm out of here. And she took the mic off and threw it on the floor and walked out on me. And
wow.
I was left there with
man.
So not only a woman, dissed another woman, but she really left me in limbo because I didn't hear the speech, not to mention I hated politics. It was my least favorite topic. I was top in court. I was action-packed. Give me a fire, give me a murder. I know it sounds callous, but that's how I was. Because those were the emotional stories, if you ask me. Politics were so boring for TV news that I barely even paid attention. So for 2 minutes, I sat there, and I don't even know what I said to this day, but I know it was awful. So
they say that a lot of people who are in the news are very liberal and Democrat.
I didn't hear you. What?
That most of the people who are in journalism are Democrats. Is that true?
Well, I think that, I believe that's mostly true. But when I was in the business, you never divulged that stuff, and because I was in it from the 80s to the early 2000s. So you never really talked about that. You tried not to show your colors or whatever, but I kind of think, now this is just me, but I think all the, stars in Hollywood that come off being Democrat and everything do so because I believe that's their base audience. Because they don't want to piss off their base audience. I mean, I hate to say it, but blue-collar things, as opposed to maybe Republicans. I'm getting myself into a hole here, but I just believe that their core audience, stars and maybe even reporters, believe that those who watch the news and those who watch movies and those who go to concerts are their base audience, and therefore they're Democrats.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of it that way.
I believe that a lot of people who say they're Democrats may not actually be Democrats. I mean, let's take Baldwin. What's his name? The Saturday Night Live guy.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes. Okay. President George Bush, George W. He was going to move to, Canada. Did he move to Canada? No. I think hundreds. Barbara Streisand said the same thing. They're moving to Canada. They're moving to Paris. Then if Trump wins, we're leaving this country. Well, nobody ever, no one ever left. And I think that's just to get along with their core audience.
I think what it is that it's sometimes I've heard, and I'm not taking a political stance here, but this is what I think. I think sometimes people, like I've heard that stars will act like they know the issues simply because they did something in a movie. Like, for instance, a bunch of women will play farm girls in a movie, and because of that, they want to lecture on in front of Washington. And I think that there has to be sort of Hollywood. I think Republicans, they don't. There are Republicans in Hollywood. It's just that what it is they don't tend to be as loud. Republicans are not as loud. They're not the kind of people that go around and make a big deal out of the fact that they're Republicans. Like,
they're not as radical.
Yeah, like the ones I can name some people who are Republicans. Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Right.
There's the guy who plays Cliff on Cheers. He was a big Republican. And then there was the Victoria Jackson. She was on Saturday Night Live. Stephen Baldwin. And I think what they do is they tend to sort of they have this sort of they tend to be quieter.
Yeah, because the majority of those friends are Democrats. I think that's one reason why.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's one reason why, and I don't understand what happened to working for a living and making your own way. For instance, I paid my entire way through college by working as a cocktail waitress, but before that, I babysat for my money. I worked at fast food places. I paid for every single bit of my college. And nowadays, everyone just wants a free handout. And this varsity blues thing has gotten me pissed off, too.
It's actually kind of funny because I had a friend named Barbara, and I was talking to her about my sister. Barbara is like this big Republican, and I said, well, my sister Barbara, my sister Cassidy has no children. And then Barbara goes, smart girl. And then I said, and she's never been married. Very smart girl. And apparently what it is, I don't know, it's I don't know if you've ever been married or not, but apparently my friend Barbara thought that if you're a woman and you've never been married and you have no kids, you're a very smart girl. I mean, it's just because but she just saw that she is a Republican, and she says that but it's sort of like they assume that you're supposed to get married. It seems that's the common stereotype. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've got a friend, and I don't want to try to, make it sound like I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that you're a media presence or that you've had a news anchor experience, but he's been uncovering a lot of pollution that the government had been, there goes my voice, the government had been kind of hiding that this toxic waste had been dumped. And then, they were buying up parcels of land, and then, some of these have had farms on it. Some of them have been, built into, what was farmland or dump land ended up being, changed into neighborhoods.
Wow.
And, and, the soil that has, the contaminants in it, has gotten down into the drinking water, so people are having to, at their own expense, drill their wells down deeper to get away from it. And
Wow.
nobody is, I mean, he's had to dig through microfiche and newspapers back to like 1980 to find out. And who can he go to? Because like he's gone to the local news, and then they might put a 30-second spot on there, and it won't mention everything. Or he's gone to Lansing, and then it's like the documents that he gets, like the names are edited out, the addresses are edited out, they're like black. And so it's,
Well,
with the Freedom of Information Act.
A congressman or congresswoman or senator in, you said Lansing?
Yeah.
Okay, because even if it's the government, it may not be all of the government, like so someone, a congressperson could bring it up, so that he went to the local media, but what did the local media do on it?
They were gonna run it, and then all of a sudden they changed their mind at the last minute and didn't run the thing. And so he's wondering if maybe the government caught wind of it and didn't like it. I don't know.
No, I don't think the government could have done that, but maybe some kind of a large sponsor, like maybe a car maker up there or something, who also advertises at the station. So, I mean, you got to go you got to go to another TV station or another TV market, because then the TV stations or TV reporter would do the smart thing too and get a congressperson involved, or get the get a star involved. Look at Matt Damon; he's all for the environment and does environmental issues and things like that. Sometimes it does take a bigger name to get a story going.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Because apparently they're making compost and selling it to farms and families out of this stuff that's been contaminated with stuff that does not break down.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is huge. But, if people are sponsoring it that, either produce this compost or distribute it, and they're sponsoring the news program, they're not going to want it on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of big, It's like 4 main areas that were illegal dump sites for like PFAS and arsenic and things like that. There were byproducts from paper mills.
Oh, a paper mill. Okay, I see. You already know what the contaminants are from. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
and they shouldn't have dumped it.
That's my best advice would be go to the senator, congressperson, or more media.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, because we're going to have him on the show, and I feel it's important because it affects all of us, and, I'm sure the stuff is happening all over the United States. It's not just going to be here,
Right.
And people have a right to know that, these aren't things that are normally tested for.
Right.
And he's having to test, out of his pocket, and then he's got some friends that help him research. But yeah, so thank you. I'll definitely pass that along.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he'll be listening to the show later after work, so that's good.
Okay.
I have a question, Linda. Being that you just had your chakras done, we're going to be having psychics on soon. Do you know anybody that you think would be able to use the chakra day, or maybe talk to a psychic? Or if you like to, you can come back and call back on one of our shows and talk to one of the psychics.
I'm sorry, I didn't get all of that. Do I know somebody who would want a chakra read? Is that what you said?
Okay, yeah, someone who would want a chakra cleanse, or somebody that would want to talk to a psychic. Or would you ever want to come back on and talk to a psychic that we might have on?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Very cool. Thank you.
But do you have somebody in mind that might be good for the chakra days?
You mean
a chakra day person? Somebody that Kelly would clean the chakras for.
I don't know anybody offhand, but I can I can ask around. If so you're looking for another guest like me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how do you usually get your guests?
What we do is we just ask around, and I talk to people. I've been, I think a lot of the people that we've talked to have been people in your neck of the woods. They've been the influencers. We had an influencer on the other day. We have some Playboy Playmates on. They've been, talking, and it's what we like to do is we like to go the route of the network marketing, because one of the things I love about the Chakra Days is that the potential for guests is infinite. We can interview anybody. It's not like we can't interview that person. We can't fly. There is some appeal, like you're this I mean, it has to do with being able to have a universal possible base, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, like I said, I can think about people and get back to you.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So, did you want to talk about what you're writing, or is that something you didn't want to really, talk about what the subject is, or?
Started a website. It's called fitover50plus.com, and I'm helping other women and men as well in their 50s know that it's not too late to start working out and to get fit and healthy, or to stay fit and healthy. And it's one of the most important things. We see older people these days that aren't getting around very well. A big reason they're not getting around very well are a couple things. The way they're eating and the way they're maybe not moving enough. But diet has a lot to do with our health in general, and I don't think people realize that. I think diet is about 85% of it, and exercise is the rest. So, sugar, people don't realize. I mean, believe me, I love sugar, and I don't think I could ever go cold turkey on sugar, but it is one of the worst things we can eat for our body. It breaks down cells, and it causes weakness in cells, which can cause disease. So, you want to eat healthy, and that's what I'm trying to do is write more on my website. And what I'm doing is writing Instagram posts on health and fitness and trying to lead people to my website.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm going to be 45 at the end of the year, but, I think I could totally use that advice, because some days I feel like I'm 80, and I don't have too many where I feel like I'm 20 anymore, but, somewhere in the middle.
I turned 57, so,
No way.
And that's one reason I started the website, because actually I'm not bragging or anything, I'm just letting you know, but most people guess me to be in my mid-30s. And so why not write about what I eat and what I do and how I stay healthy, with yoga and weight and running and positive mindfulness, things like that. So
fantastic!
It's critical as we get older. So please look at my website, fitover50plus.com, and it's fitover and 50plus.com.
I'll be checking it out, even though I'm not quite there. I feel like I am sometimes, but I mean.
Oh, well, you can learn from what I do. What I do is I write about what I do. What did I do in the gym today? What did I eat yesterday? Things like that. So, because everywhere I go, people ask me, well, what do you usually eat? Or what do you usually do when you're at the gym? So I just started writing it down, and so I thought I had a little niche audience there.
Yeah, and it helps keep you on track, because you're not going to be like, oh, well, I had a milkshake. I don't really want to write that down, So don't have it. You don't have to write it down.
Right.
But, Yeah, that's really helpful. And we like to connect people with positivity and healthy lifestyles.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely been a pleasure working with you, and we look forward to having you again. And if you wanted to talk about being fit and being fabulous, then, feel free to come on
Oh,
and we can do
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Just let me know anytime.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. We like empowering people.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then maybe we can take some callers that day.
Oh, that would be great. I love taking questions.
I
That's great.
think we do have a caller. Do you want me to take a caller?
Okay.
Hey, cool.
Area code 347. You're on the air.
Hi, I wasn't sure if you guys were doing readings today.
We're doing we were doing chakra days, but but we are going to be having some psychics on in the future, quite a bit actually. So,
Okay.
did you hear the show or?
Yes, I was listening. It was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any
Thank
questions
you so
for
much.
Linda? Do you have any
No,
questions
I was
for
just
Linda?
listening. I didn't know if she does. Do you do readings, Linda?
No, I don't do readings. They had me on as a guest, and I was very honored to be read by Kelly. And so, no, I don't do readings, but I believe in chakra. I believe in spirituality and God, and so it was very enjoyable, very informative.
Yes, I
Thank you.
enjoyed it too. I listened. I listened to the whole thing. It was great. So
Would you
I'm
like a
really
chakra day?
sure.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Maybe if you hang on the line, Jonathan can help facilitate making that happen. He's our
Okay.
scheduler.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I'll call
Thank
you
you.
after the show, okay?
Okay.
Let me write down your number. Give me a second. I won't tell you the number on the air, but let me write it down, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And what was your first name?
My first name is Tanika.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I
you,
look
ma'am. I
forward
have
to
your
doing your
number.
chakra. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It was a great show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
See, that's what makes our show is the connections we make and the people who call in and the people who listen later and the people we have on. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
I'd love to be on and talk about fitness. That'd be fun. So keep
oh,
me in mind
yeah.
for that.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
be on the
Yeah.
lookout for other Chakra Day people, okay?
What's that?
Be on the lookout for other Chakra Day people, okay?
Okay, I will.
Or
And
people
I'll
that would,
contact you.
yeah. Or people that would like to be interviewed because, you know, we're really open to a broad range of topics. So, you know, if you know anybody that would like to connect.
Okay, that sounds great.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you,
well, thank
Linda.
you, too. Thank
Well,
you.
thank
We're
you very
just about
much.
out of
And
time.
Kelly, feel better.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Okay.
sure trying. Yeah,
Okay.
I hope your back feels
We'll talk
good.
soon.
All right.
We'll talk
thank
soon
you.
then. Okay,
All
bye-bye.
right. Bye.